Welcome to the Lift and Glow Fitness Podcast, the health and fitness podcast for women who want to look great and feel great for good. Whether your goal is to lose weight, build muscle, or you just want to be the healthiest version of yourself, the advice that we share here is going to help you do that by building habits that stick without sucking the fun out of your life. Before we get stuck in today's episode, please make sure to hit subscribe so that you don't miss any future episodes from us. Okay, so Pilates. Pilates is everywhere, very, very popular. Lots of our clients do it. We do it.
Yeah.
And I thought it would be good to talk about whether or not we think it is a fad, because it feels very faddy. You know, like, this is a question
Everyone's
that actually,
talking about it.
this is a question that got asked by one of the Lift and Glow girls, like, is Pilates a fad?
Yeah.
And so I thought this is actually a really good thing to talk about because it feels very faddy. Like, I'm not messing. How many Pilates studios are there by ours now?
Yeah,
It started
so
off
many.
with one.
Yeah.
She used to be one of my clients. Started off with one. There was no other like reformer Pilates specifically anywhere near us. And then now, I'm not messing, is there 10?
And I
So
keep
many.
thinking like, oh my God, there's another one. Like, there's no way that can get busy, but they all just get chocker, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're all busy.
I think obviously Pilates is very popular, but I think predominantly reformer as well at the moment, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
everyone's like, oh, what's that bed thing? Like, what do you do on that? But
Well, I think it started with reformer, but then there's even more mat Pilates now coming out,
Yeah.
isn't there? You know, like this more high energetic.
yeah,
Like I was saying before,
Yeah.
like I got a shock.
Yeah.
I thought I was going into some stretch, like holding a few poses.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I was doing squats on a ball with dumbbells, but I had like size 2 dumbbells
Yeah, I
in
was
my
gonna
arms.
say,
so
did
going
you have
up
two
like that.
kilos?
I was like, but it burnt.
do you know what? Last week I went to reformer and she'd give me like 3 kilo weights, but you were like on the bed, so you were going as like your splits, but not splits,
Yeah.
like it's for squat, and then pressing overhead. After about 5 reps, my shoulders
Yeah.
were burning, and I was like, why am I in so much pain with it? Because your
Yeah.
whole body's like shaking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah,
it is.
It's not
Just
not
a different
easy
stimulus,
at all.
isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's not an easy thing. Like, we're not going to come here and like just slate Pilates, because we're all of the opinion that like any movement, any activity that anyone chooses to do is positive.
Yeah.
Like, it's great. If you're deciding to be active and that's your preferred form of exercise and you love it, and because you love it, you're consistent at it, I think it's better to do Pilates than to do nothing at all.
Yeah.
But it feels very faddy because it's just kind of like, it's just like
Come from
kind of
nowhere.
like come from nowhere. We were speaking in the car on the way here. You did Pilates like 7 years. Was it 7 years ago that?
It was COVID.
No, it was before COVID.
Before
like
COVID,
2
yeah,
years
yeah.
before COVID.
Yeah, so I was doing it,
But it was
like,
different.
Yeah, it was different. It was just like holding like very loads of core.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Loads of like actually lying on the mat.
Yeah.
So like to go the other day and be like
Shocked.
on a ball, like balls, like
I feel like
dumbbells.
it's just
I was
leveled
like,
up, hasn't it?
Yeah,
what
there's
the
all
hell?
like equipment now, because
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pilates has been around for years.
Years.
It is
Yeah.
not new at all.
I used to do it in
It's-
Helston Hall. My mum, like,
Yeah.
over 10 years ago, but it was like you said, it wasn't like it is now.
It's been around for absolute years, because
Yeah.
I remember like Rachel from Friends talking about Pilates.
Yeah.
Like, it's been around for absolute
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
It is not new, but it's had this like
Revamp.
re-emergence.
Yeah.
Yeah, this like big revamp where there's like these balls, there's like ankle
all the
circles,
accessories,
dumbbells,
isn't it?
Yeah.
yeah, all these accessories, which make it like, I suppose, more challenging,
Which
Yeah.
is good.
and more fun. You
Yeah.
know, like, it's not like the typical, I feel like Pilates used to be a bit of a stretch and used to be like a low intense way of getting people moving. So like, it was
Yeah.
for beginners, I thought.
Yeah.
That's how I always
It was always quite a lot of like older women that would do it as well.
Yeah.
Like, I remember I used to go to Hills with my mum. Like, I was obviously the youngest in there, but then my mum was one of the youngest as well, because all the others
Yeah.
were like retired,
Well,
like
they didn't want to do
60,
step
70-year-old
and
women.
hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's our age that are doing it mostly, isn't it?
Like, I feel like for girls, for Gen Z and
Yeah.
millennials, like Pilates
Yeah.
is just like rammed down
Yeah.
our throats.
Can I ask
Yeah.
a question?
Yeah.
What is Gen Z?
What's Gen Z?
Yeah.
like
Everyone keeps talking about it. I don't know what it is.
Gen Z is like a, so I'm a millennial. You're a Gen Z?
now I'm not 2000, I'm 1998.
Oh, are you?
So am I a millennial?
You must be, yeah. So millennial is like anyone born between the years of like in the 80s and 1996,
Right.
or roughly around then, could be wrong. And then Gen
So I'm
Z
just
is the
millennial
next
then.
generation. So like, I think my
Yeah.
mum is like a baby boomer or a boomer. I don't know. There's all different words
Yeah.
for the different generations.
I feel like you
And
hear
then the
about it
new
loads
one
on like
is-
TikTok and Instagram, like Gen Z and all that.
Is the
Yeah.
new one Gen X, like the younger ones?
Oh, so
Younger
there's
ones are
even more
Gen
now?
Z. Oh yeah, well, because every generation has a title.
Oh.
Oh my God, girls! I can't. What? Are
I
you
did-
living under a rock? I don't know.
I do, the ones
No,
that are
I
wrong.
do. When I like read like memes and it's saying like Gen Z, I get it and I laugh.
Yeah. But you're
I
Gen
do-
Z.
Now I know I am
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
So yeah,
That's a
but
whole
I'm
podcast.
so like they are like different. So anyway, for millennials, which is like our age,
Yeah.
we're both all three of us are either millennial or Gen Z.
Yeah.
It's everywhere. Like
Yeah.
it's just all over Instagram, all over TikTok. Celebrities are doing it, and then there's like studios popping up. I actually do think it's amazing. I think it's great for core. I think
Yeah.
it's great for stability.
Yeah.
Balance. I think that like it's a great, it's a form of activity, so it's great. But I don't think that it's like the only thing that
Should be
we
the sole thing
doing.
you do, yeah.
Yeah. And like I get that people love it because it is enjoyable. But I don't think it's like the sole form of exercise to be doing.
No.
I'm never, ever, ever gonna get away from the fact that we all need to be strength training.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna say anything otherwise. Like
Yeah.
everybody needs muscle. To be healthy, you have to have muscle.
We probably sound like a broken record, but it is true.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people look at like these people who are doing Pilates and like Pilates instructors, and I think they're looking at them and thinking, "Oh my God, I want to look like them." But in reality, they're probably strength training. Well, they will be strength training,
Exactly.
like, as well as that.
We've had Pilates teachers. I've coached and PT'd Pilates teachers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Pilates teachers will come
not
to
their
our
only thing.
gym.
Yeah.
Like it's not like the only thing to do. It's a great thing to do.
Yeah.
And I actually think it's really, really amazing for anyone new to exercise because it teaches you like tension
Bracing
and
your core,
stiffness
Yeah.
in your
And
body.
using your breath and everything, isn't
Yeah,
it?
and using your breath, like because a lot of people who've never exercised before don't have that control and don't know how to brace or how to keep
Or
tension
how to breathe.
or how to breathe or balance. Like I think it is really great. It's really great for beginners. I think it's amazing during pregnancy and after pregnancy.
Yeah.
I always say to new mums, not necessarily to go straight into reformer, but to try like a post-pregnancy
Pilates,
like
yeah.
Pilates. I do think it's brilliant. And also like older people who are more susceptible to like falls and stuff. I think Pilates is great because they need to work on like stability and balance. So it's amazing. It definitely has its place. But if you want to be the healthiest version of yourself and look, like if you want to look strong, lean, toned, and you want to
not
lose
gonna
fat, lifting weights is still
Yeah.
necessary.
I think it's like, again, like we were saying earlier about different things, but it depends on what your goal is, doesn't it? If your goal is, to tone and sculpt your body and to grow some glutes or whatever, like you're not going to grow glutes off a reformer bed. Like
So
it's not going to happen.
this is actually really getting on my tits about Pilates. Sorry to be crude. It's really getting on my nerves. It's like, yeah, just because your glute, this is donkey kicks don't build glutes.
No.
Heavy weights build glutes
Yeah.
and calories. So like, it doesn't matter if your glutes are burning from doing those donkey kicks in Pilates or doing those pulse lunges or whatever.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you feel that burn. A burn does not equal muscle growth.
yeah.
Muscle growth comes from progressive overload, lifting heavier over time, and also fueling your body correctly. So you could go to Pilates for years and years and years if you want, but you're never going to build a big juicy bum.
Yeah.
No.
It
Eat
doesn't
food,
happen.
lift weights.
Eat food, lift weights, and you're not going to find an alternative answer anywhere
No.
to that. Like building muscle has always been like transforming your body, transforming the shape of your body is always what you eat and what you lift. And like all these things will come
no
in
quick
like
fix.
high rocks and Pilates and stuff like that. But it's still, the answer is still the same. Lift weights and fix your nutrition.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
how you change your body.
Yeah.
Pilates is like an extra bonus, I feel.
I think as well, people think like they're going to get a six pack if they do Pilates because it's all core. But again, that's diet, isn't it? And like,
Well, this is another thing that pisses me off is like, God, lots of stuff pisses me off.
she's on one.
But like transformation photos from Pilates, they grind my gears, not gonna lie, because I'm thinking Pilates did not do that. You change your nutrition.
Yeah.
You don't get leaner by just doing Pilates. You clearly have eaten in a calorie deficit, otherwise we would not be able to see your abs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like it's not gonna make you lean without
its own.
nutrition.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
It
is
has to be
great.
with a bunch of other factors as well. Yeah.
What would you say to somebody who wants to do Pilates because they love it?
Great, do it.
How often? If they're doing it 5 days a week?
Probably once, I'd say.
Well, it depends. Like, what if they want to sculpt into the body? Do you mean?
No, so if they want to be, all of the people who we're talking to are people who want to be the healthiest
Enhance their
version
health,
of themselves and also look and feel their best. So lose weight, tone up. So if you want to be healthy, you need to have muscle, which means you need to lift
Strength
weights.
train, yeah.
And if you want to lose weight and tone up,
Yeah.
you need to be in a calorie deficit and lift weights.
I'd say like maybe try and do like maximum like 2 Pilates a week and then 3 strength sessions.
Yeah, I would say the same. If you really love it and you have the time, then maybe 3 strength, 3 Pilates if you've got the time.
Yeah.
But if you're a bit shorter on time, I would say like to reduce the Pilates to 2. Or maybe
And
2
prioritise the strength.
Like, because you can get really good results from 2 strength workouts, 2 full body strength workouts a week. It's really good for a lot of people. So if you did 2 Pilates, 2 full body strength,
Fine.
Unreal,
Yeah.
like amazing. And you will be doing enough to build muscle. You'll be doing enough to maintain muscle and be healthy and also change the shape of your body.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's like the only thing. Like I know a lot of people just do that for the only form of exercise. And I think they're missing out on a lot of health benefits and aesthetic benefits. It's not all about what you look like.
No.
But I do think health is always important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Massively.
they're missing out on those benefits by just doing Pilates. Do you think everyone should do Pilates?
You know what? I actually, obviously, I haven't done it in a while, but I did do it on Sunday for the first time. And I feel like it's something I would keep up because I fell over. Like, I know I have got a strong core, but like, you know, like just like you
a
don't
different
realise
challenge, isn't
it's
it?
really challenging.
It's
and I
a
feel
totally
like it's
different
really,
stimulus.
Yeah. And I do feel like it is effective and I feel like it will benefit everyone. Like, as you were saying before, if there's like, you know, an older person or like someone who's not got who's a bit like unstable,
Yeah.
it's going to be really good for them because obviously a strong core is going to stop all that.
I think it depends on the type of Pilates
Yeah.
because obviously these like really intense, fast-paced Pilates that are like becoming more popular, I don't think beginners
No,
really
not suited to everyone, are they?
because I've heard a few mad stories of like clients going to some of them and like all the techniques all up the wall. People are going to hurt themselves. It's all very fast and intense and high energy, and that's like just going to a HIIT class and doing everything terribly and hurting yourself. Like I don't really see much difference in it there. And also physios would suggest that like people who are hypermobile, people who have some back issues,
dangerous, isn't
shouldn't
it?
do Pilates, and even yoga can be dangerous for people like that. So I would say if you do have any of those issues like hypermobility or like back problems and stuff, don't just automatically think that Pilates is the
Gonna fix you.
answer.
Yeah.
Because we're saying it's good, can be
Yeah.
good for those things. It depends on like your unique
Situation.
Yeah.
I think as well, you hear of these big Pilates studios now that they've got like 15, 16 reformer beds in one room. But I just think that's so dangerous because I always fall over on the reformer bed. Like I'm so wobbly, as you can imagine. But like that's in a room of 6 beds. Like I just don't see how one instructor can physically watch and make sure every single person on that reformer bed is like safe and doing technique well and everything. Because
Well, this is why we don't do big groups at Lift and Glow, isn't it? Because it's the same sort of thing. We've all been to big fitness classes before, and we've all taught them, and we've all seen scary things, and like it's so hard as a coach, and it'll be the same as for a Pilates teacher. It's too hard to look at 30 people. It's too hard to look at 20 people.
Yeah.
It's very difficult, and it's not always safe. And I do think on a reformer bed, I mean, like some of them exercises are sketchy.
and if you think about it, like, you're paying like £20 a session.
I know.
You want to be feeling like you're getting your money's worth and getting coached in it,
Not
don't
like
you?
falling everywhere.
Yeah, I do feel like, especially like reformer Pilates, I do feel like it should be in a
Smaller
smaller
group.
setting, a more intimate setting, just to make sure that, because at the end of the day, all exercise does need to be done properly, otherwise you are at risk of injury.
Yeah.
And like cramming loads of people into one room might seem like a good thing to do, but you do have to take care of, like, that's why we don't do big groups is because we want to make sure things are getting done properly and people have the attention. Because it's not like just because we're saying it's good for beginners, just because we're saying it might be good postnatal or whatever, doesn't mean you're always going to get the best experience. Like Reformer Pilates teachers are popping up everywhere, but it's the same as personal trainers. You only get taught so much. You really have to like be clued up on how bodies move and how to handle different like injuries and stuff, and that comes after doing your course.
It's experience, isn't it?
Yeah. So it is great.
I enjoy it. I love it.
Yeah, I think it's good. Well, we're doing mat Pilates at Lift and Glow.
Yeah,
I think
it's
definitely got a place. Like I think it's really good, and it's amazing that it's got so many people who wouldn't usually do exercise to move. I think it is really great, but I don't think that we should forget that strength training still needs to come first. And if you want to change your body, strength training and nutrition is just vital. Pilates is not gonna.
Don't use it as a sole aspect.
Yeah, and you're not gonna build your bum doing Pilates, soz guys.
No peaches made here.
Or abs.
Or abs, abs are
made in the kitchen.
Yeah.